next guest is one of these stars of designing women. Currently, you can see her in the Lifetime series Any Day Now. Please welcome Annie Potts. How are you?
I'm good.
This is your first time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny. I found out today, I figured you were from the South, but I didn't know that you were from Kentucky. I've never been to Kentucky, never seen it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
What's life like down there in Kentucky? Well, how do you pass the time?
Well, it's really beautiful. I grew up in the rural part where it's mostly farms and stuff. I grew up on a farm, you know. And it was idyllic childhood, you know. We had animals and farmland and caves and ponds, and I went hunting and fishing with my dad. And
What kind of hunting would you do? I mean...
Oh, we, rabbits, bird, and fishing, frog gigging.
What's frog gigging? It's been a long time since I've done frog gigging. I seriously don't know what it is. It sounds like a dance or something.
You Yankees are just so deprived.
Yeah.
Have you never eaten frog legs?
I've never had frog
because
legs.
that, of course, is the ultimate thing. You eat them.
Yeah.
But it's actually my kids love to tell these stories because they're city kids. And what you do see when you frog gig is we always go in the summer. It's one of my fondest memories, actually. You go through the fields and there'd be lightning bugs and everything. We go down, we have a gunny sack and a frog gig and
what's a frog gig?
Well, it's...
You can't just say, how do you go frog gigging? Oh, you need a frog gig. And then move on.
You gig. It's like, it's a trident.
A trident, a three-pronged...
Yes, a three-pronged thing that goes on the end of a long pole. And what you do is you go down to the pond and you shine the flashlight around and you catch their eyes and then you go and you gig them.
What is it when you hit... So we see up in Boston we call that frog spearing.
Oh.
Which is... I just didn't know you were... I did that every day.
Oh, well,
take the subway into the marsh.
I don't...
But
I couldn't do it anymore. Last time I went, I was with my uncle in North Carolina, and we'd had a couple of drinks, and we decided to go out on the Waccamaw River about midnight and get some frogs. We decided we'd go in a canoe, and he had a whole rig kind of thing, and he had, I know.
I'm just picturing like
a huge electric frog gig.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but
he would shoot it at 800 miles an hour.
He was beyond the ever-ready flashlight, though. He had gotten himself an airplane light.
Does the flashlight stun them into...
Yes, it's like deer in the headlights. They'd freeze, and that's how you sneak up on them. So he had an airplane headlight that he had connected up to a great big battery that he had between his knees in the canoe.
Right.
And he would, we were combing the bank, and I was up in the front of the canoe, and they were like it was like mutant frogs. They were the size of poodles. And I'd had a couple of wild turkeys, I think. I was much younger then. And so we came up, and he said, gig 'em, and I was like, oh, the size of a goat, and and when you get them, and then they in the mud, and then you have
when you spear them, they smush in there.
Yeah, and then
do they say anything as they get hit? Do they go die?
Kinda. It's a it's something out of a Mel Gibson movie. Yeah. And so then I'd take the pole and I'd move it around Uncle Samuel. Next to the big battery he had a chopping block and an axe, with short-handled axe.
Right.
And he just put the frog there and then you
cut the legs off.
Yeah, you cut them like here.
Right.
And then he would just...
What, so okay, why do you need this part? I thought you only ate the legs.
You only eat the legs. You don't eat the top legs.
So this is the part you hold it by to dip it in chocolate or something?
They're only that
big. Okay.
No, you fry them.
Oh, cuckoo. I'm sorry. I guess I'm crazy. I don't know what's happening.
Pretty boy.
I'm trying to learn.
But this is what put me off. I can't hunt and fish anymore after this.
He chopped the legs off?
Yeah, he chopped the legs off, and then he threw the upper half of the body in the river, and I remember watching the upper half of the body swim away. And that was it for me.
It could still swim with...
Well, I suspect not for long.
No. Oh, that's...
But...
That's frog gigging.
That's frog gigging. Anyway, that's what we did to entertain ourselves a little bit.
I know you're an animal lover. You wouldn't know it from that story.
anymore.
Odd transition here, but you love the conventional animals.
I have lots of
the
animals.
frog is your foe, but you like dogs?
I do. Yes, I have 2 of them, and I have 3 cats. I have 3 children, and you know.
And I heard you like to keep your pets after they pass
away. What do you do with them when they die? You know, like when we were...
Crazy me, they get buried.
But you can't do that in the city. Like when we were on the farm, if one of our animals... It's
called Central Park at night.
But I heard it was illegal, so when my animals died in...
Sorry.
When my animals, you know, would die or you know, be, you know, met an unfortunate end or whatever, you know, you have to have them cremated, and you send them to the California Pet Crematorium, and then they send them back to you about a week later in a can. It's really awful, and I never knew what to do with them. So last year we moved into a new house and built a pool because there wasn't one, and we put some nice columns at one end of the pool, and when they poured the cement for the columns, we just dropped the cans down into the columns, so now they have these sort of fantastic monuments to them.
You put your pets in the concrete. Yeah. A little trick you learned from the Gambino crime family. I have a nice... I know it will do. That's actually nice, but you know where they are.
Yeah, they're in alphabetical order.
You're a neatnik, right?
Hey.
You have to have everything in the right way.
It's like, which one is Critter in? Critter, no. Gus is, no. So they're in alphabetical order.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's like a Martha Stewartism. Make sure you put them in alphabetical order.
She told me to do it that way.
The show Any Day Now is on Tuesdays at 9:00 p.m. on Lifetime.
Yeah,
Lifetime.
You just missed it.
Lifetime. Yeah, well, people are watching TV at this hour. Something seriously wrong with them. But I'm sure they caught it earlier in the evening.
I hope so, because it's a great show.
That's what I hear. I hear nice things about this show. And it was great having you on the program. Are you going to come back?
Yeah.
We'll actually go frog gigging. We'll bring a camera.
It really is fun.
You shouldn't have to say that about a sport after you describe it. No, really. Annie Potts, thank you very much. Good to have you here. We'll take a break, folks. We'll be right back with Guster. Stick around. All right, folks, that's our show of the night. We want to thank all our guests. Stay tuned for later. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.